Hey everybody, it's James here from the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. This is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week I buy comic books. I buy them for myself, for my kids. I buy them at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you're over there and you like comics, check out that shop. And while you're over there, check out the toy department. Okay, let's jump in. Gracie got up this morning and said, hey, you going to the comic shop? And I said, yeah. And she said, I want a Superman comic. I want the superhero. I want Superman, the superhero. So somehow she's decided that Superman is the superhero. And I figured no better comic for a younger kid that asks about Superman than Superman Adventures. Much like Batman Adventures is a perfect comic to give to a younger kid that wants to check out Batman, Superman Adventures, Justice League Adventures, Adventures in the DC Universe, those are all good kid-friendly books that are still good books. They're not too kiddified. They're still good reads for an adult collector, but they're also a great all-ages book. So I just grabbed a random issue. This had Crypto on the cover, so I figured she would dig that. This is by Ty Templeton and Dan Slott, with Ty Templeton in the script and Neil Vokes doing the pencils. And you're going to get, I mean, you know what you're going to get. If you like Superman, the animated series, you know what you're going to get with this comic. You're going to get that feel, that look. Yeah, so that's good. Next up, we've got some True Believers. They're still focused on X-Men books, and that's due to the, I think, the X of Swords crossover. These True Believers are $1 reprints that Marvel does that ties into something that's currently going on, either in comics or in film or TV or whatever. There's also the New Mutants movie that's out right now, so it could have something to do with that. We've got 2 New Mutants books in here. So we've got True Believers #1, Magic, which is a reprint of the first issue from the Magic 4-issue limited series. This is a great miniseries from Chris Claremont and John Buscema, I think. Yeah, John Buscema and Tom Plummer doing the finishes. So if you saw New Mutants and you liked Magic and you want to know more about the character, this is a good place to start. It's only $1. It gets you the first issue of her miniseries, which is a really fun miniseries. And the back issues aren't that expensive. So if you check out this $1 book and you want the other 3, you're not going to break the bank to get them. So that's a good one to do a True Believers on. Then we've got New Mutants True Believers #1, Cypher. This is from New Mutants number 13, if I remember correctly. New Mutants number 13, and this is by Chris Claremont doing the writing and Sal Buscema doing, Buscema, however you want to say his name, doing the pencils, with Tom Mandrake doing the finishes. This issue has just Doug Ramsey interacting with Kitty Pryde. Yeah, so there's Doug Ramsey. I don't think there's anything about his actual powers in this issue, if I remember right. This issue focuses more on Magma, as she's a new member of the team, than it does anything about Cypher. And I only got one of each one of those because Gracie, I don't think would really... She'll recognize this logo and these characters. She won't recognize that other stuff as much. And Blaze has said that, hey, you don't have to get me all the True Believers. Maybe just an X-Men, and maybe just like... Because he's more into the street-level stuff right now, like Batman, Nightwing, Robin... Daredevil, that kind of stuff, and not so much all the different mutant books. So, and he said, you know, I can always just read Keaton's if I really want to read it. So that made that easier. That way I can leave some more there at the shop too for people, because there are great pickups at only $1 each. I did get 4 copies of this one though, because I want one. I don't actually have X-Men 58 yet, the original issue, so this will go in my back issue boxes. And then I got one for Gracie because she'll know X-Men. One for Keaton, and I went ahead and grabbed one for Blaze just because, like, you know what, it's X-Men. So this is a reprint of X-Men issue 58 by basically Roy Thomas and Neil Adams, and it's the first appearance of Havoc. This is when Neil Adams was on the book and the X-Men book was starting to turn around. It's pretty rough to read those Silver Age issues of X-Men. It's not one of the stronger Silver Age books. It's a little tough to get through. But by the time Neil Adams is on the book and Roy Thomas is writing, it's starting to feel more like the X-Men that people recognize, the Chris Claremont era of X-Men. It starts to feel a little bit more like that. So this is a good one to pick up for an older X-Men book. And then we've got Marvel Snapshots X-Men. Now, Marvel Snapshots, I guess, is kind of like a tie-in to Marvels, which is, you know, a story that was told through the eyes of a newspaper reporter, photographer guy. And it was his kind of vision of the Marvel Universe as it was being created. And now there's a new Marvel series, and now there's these Marvel Snapshots, which are little snippets of a character is past. And so this is the X-Men issue, and it's about Cyclops. And this is your creative team on this. The art really reminds me of Chris Samney. When I first started flipping through it, I was like, oh, this looks a lot like Chris Samney art. But it's a tale of Cyclops' past. And I like Cyclops a lot. So I grabbed this one for a little story about young Cyclops and how he ties into his young period, ties into how Marvel's origin and history goes. So this could be a fun book. I grabbed 2 of those, one for me and one for Keaton. And then this book is for Blaze. We got Fearless Dawn meets Hellboy. I don't know what Fearless Dawn is. I've never read anything Fearless Dawn, but it's Hellboy. And it's actually written by Mike Mignola and Steve Mannion with actual art, even though it's only 4 pages, by Mike Mignola. So we got an actual Mike Mignola Hellboy page or 2 in here, which is few and far between these days. So I grabbed this for him, and it looks like an interesting Hellboy book. We'll check it out. This is by Albatross, and it's $5.99. There were 2 different versions. There was this thicker stock cover and a regular stock cover, which I think was only $4.99. But this is all that was left, which is this kind of cover. And either way, it's a Mike Mignola cover, so I grabbed it. And now we got a couple of trade paperbacks. First of all, we've got another X-Men Milestones. This one's Second Coming. This is $34.99. It tells the story of Hope Summers. Let's see, mutant kind has never had it worse. The mutant population is down to a mere 181 in the last year. Only one mutant has been born, the girl called Hope, believed to be the mutant messiah who will reignite the species. Cable raised Hope in the future, and now the 2 have returned. So that gives you the gist of what the story you're going to read. And this is after, like, the Messiah War and the Messiah Complex, House of M, all those. So this is Hope coming back from the future, and this is right before the A versus X storyline. There's a bunch of books here. I'm not going to read all those out to you because there's so many this time. I'll do it anyway. Second Coming Prepare, X-Men Second Coming 1 through 2, Uncanny X-Men 523 through 525, New Mutants 12 through 14, X-Men Legacy 235 through 237, and X-Force 26 through 28. Now, I have not read all of this stuff. There is not an omnibus of this stuff yet either. There are some trades, and there are some oversized hardcovers. Again, I'm in the midst of a reread, like starting off at the beginning and then rereading everything. So eventually I will get to this. I will get to reading this stuff too. I do really love these X-Men Milestones trades. They're a great way to just grab an entire storyline. A lot of times with the Epic collections, that you only get the issues of that title in an Epic collection. But the Milestones, they give you basically as much as they can fit in one trade for a story. They may leave out a couple things, but you get the gist of each story with these trades. And then the last book for today is X-Men, Batman, Curse of the White Knight by Sean Gordon Murphy, I'm going to call him. This is for Blaze. I told him, hey, dude, there's a hardcover for Batman, Curse of the White Knight. Batman White Knight is one of Blaze's favorite Batman stories. Keeps telling me I got to read it, and I do have to read it. But I saw this, and I'm like, I know you got the trade for the first one, but you don't have the second one collected. You only got the issues. And I said, hey, this hardcover's here. He's like, get that hardcover. So he is in the same boat as I am, where he's getting a lot of hardcovers and omnis and that kind of stuff to put on a bookshelf. So this will be great on his bookshelf, and I have a feeling he's going to want to go back and get a Batman White Knight hardcover at some point. And this is only $29.99. I'm not going to open this and show it to you because it's sealed and it's his book, so I don't want to open it for him. So that is it for today. Let me know what you guys grabbed down below in the comments. If you enjoy the videos, like, subscribe, notify. Yeah, so read comics, talk about comics, all that stuff. All right, see you guys. Bye.